I am religious about tracking investments, and I can tell you from looking at the numbers, for every dollar that me and my clients invest into selling our digital products, we typically tend to get $3 to $4 back out. And so in this video, I'm just gonna break down exactly how we do it so you can find out how we sell so many digital products that it feels illegal. So I have a friend here in Barcelona who's getting ready to launch his own digital product / coaching business. And me and him went and got a coffee yesterday together, and I was breaking down like how we do this. And so I wanted to just make this video and share with you exactly what I told him. Because if you are in the digital product online coaching world and you are trying to figure out how to grow your business because you're just getting started or maybe you're feeling a little stuck, I think what I told him will be super helpful for you. Now, if you don't know me already, my name is Brice, and I have been selling stuff online for nearly the last 10 years. And ever since I got into this digital product space, I have sold nearly $11 million worth of digital products for me and my clients. Now, I am stoked for my friend here because I've sold a lot of stuff online, but like selling digital products and high ticket stuff is just one of the coolest things that I think we could possibly do online. The problem is there's like a lot of bad and confusing information out there about how to actually grow one of these businesses and like make a significant amount of income doing it. So I want to break down for you exactly what I told him about like what's going to happen when he launches, how he can grow his audience, how we can go out there and get a boatload of customers and just make as much money as fast as we can. So to set some context for him, he's already got a little bit of an audience. So he's got about 2,000 people on an email list that he's worked with over the years from being in person, actually doing like in-person work. And so he's been working on this digital product for the last couple of months. It sounds awesome. He is so pumped about like the actual results he can deliver for people. Now, when he's getting ready to launch, as he's getting ready to launch, the thing I told him, because he's got, he's been doing his homework. He's got all the right things in mind in terms of like, he's gonna run a discounted offer at the very beginning. He's got an order bump on the checkout page so that instead of people just paying the $27, they can upgrade for another $19. He's done his homework and he knows what he's doing in this launch process. Now, what I told him was I was like, hey man, that is all great. You've done a great job. But just go sit down with a spreadsheet and do the math. Like you've got 2,000 people on an email list. And let's say your open rates are super good because this is like your warmest audience, people who already know, like, and trust you. So let's say you get like a 70% open rate. How many people do you think you can actually sell into your digital product? And then let's say like half of them take this upsell order bump thing because again, they know, like, and trust you. So they want to hear what you're up to. So let's say on average, you can get like $37 per customer. That's kind of what we mathed out, super rough math in what we thought he would get. And then let's say he can get like 200 customers. He can convert 10% of these people that are already in his audience into actually buying his stuff. So he's gonna make a couple $1,000, which is like cool in the very beginning stages to make your first couple $1,000 online. But like, you're not gonna pay your mortgage and pay a team and pay a videographer and pay for all your software stuff if you make $2,000, right? And so the first thing I told him to think about and focus on is like, how can you maximize the value that you are getting from these 200 people that are now going to be your customers? Because making $2,000 is cool, but if you could make an offer to those people and say, hey, all of these people, I've got a special thing that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be working with 5 people one-on-one over the next couple of months. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, here, just fill out this form or do this thing, respond to this message, whatever it is, and let's talk about it. And if he could convert 4 or 5 of those people into now paying him like $3,000, now he just went from making $2,000 to making like $15,000, $17,000. Now that is a big difference if you can maximize that much revenue out of your launch and also just get that much cash going into your business to start to fund all the things that you need when you need help with setting up your emails and running your tech platforms and getting a videographer and all that stuff. And so that's what I was encouraging him to do in the very beginning, was think about how he could maximize that by having a high ticket offer. It's just like selling low ticket stuff. You need so much volume in order to make a lot of money. And most people just don't have an audience the size that you would need in order to make that kind of money. And so that's what the first thing I told him was to focus on high ticket. Now, what's gonna happen after you launch? You've got a couple thousand people who are like your warm audience. These people know, like, and trust you. They're the most excited to hear from you. And after that, you've got to keep growing this business and keep getting new customers. And so the biggest thing is like no one knows who you are, and you've got to figure out how to build an audience and get enough attention onto what you've built in order to actually grow this thing and make a significant income with it. And so you've really only got 2 choices. And one of those is you're going to grow a large social media audience through like organic marketing. And this can absolutely work. I've seen a lot of people do it. The biggest thing that I told him that I tell lots of people is like, the people that I've seen do that really well are like stoked about making content. They're like, man, if I have to wake up every morning and make like 1 or 2 reels for Instagram, I am pumped. That sounds amazing. And they're super down to do that every single day, 7 days a week for the next couple of months while they like really just think about how to make amazing content to grow their business. And I was like, is that you? And he's like, not really. And I was like, cool, me neither. So your only other option really is to run ads. Now, running ads is fantastic. I think it gets a bad rap on this platform and a bunch of other social media platforms because people like don't want to spend money. But it's really just like a mechanism to go out and buy customers. And if you do it right, like it works fantastic. So I was like, great, if you're not going to be the guy that just wants to spend all your time and attention making an organic, like amazing organic content, just learn how to run ads. So if running ads becomes the obvious choice of like how you can actually get people to know who you are and grow your business and get customers, the question just becomes like, how do you actually run them? Now going back to my buddy's example, we had kind of mathed out that like through his low ticket offer that he was starting with, he was probably gonna make like about $37 per customer if people went through and checked out and bought his stuff. Now again, $37 is cool on a digital product, but keep in mind, like now we've got to factor in the fact that we're spending ads to get that customer. So like imagine you're paying $30 to get that customer. Now you're only making a couple of bucks every time you sell a product. Like that's not really exciting, and you need to sell a lot of those in order to make money. Also, maybe it costs you $40 to get a customer. Now you're losing money to get customers. So we need to figure out how we can balance this equation that you can actually make money while running ads. And again, this is just a skill and a strategy that's out there that once you figure it out, like you learn how to do it. So to explain, let me tell you the story of 2 different companies that I've worked with over the years. One of them was selling a low ticket digital product. I think it costs like 19 bucks. We sold nearly $1 million worth of this product. And at one time we were spending about $3,000 a day on ads. Now the challenge that this person ran into was once we got to that level of scale, because at the beginning his goal was just get this product into as many hands as possible. The thing that he couldn't figure out was how to have some kind of higher ticket, high value back end in order to actually make money from all the people coming through his digital product. Because once we got to that level of scale where we're spending like 3,000 bucks a day on ads, some days he'd make a little bit of money on ads, some days he wouldn't make any money on ads. We were like barely breaking even. And when you're trying to make all your money on a low ticket product, it's very difficult. Now another company that I've worked with, very similar situation. They have been spending a bunch of money on low ticket offers. The difference is they have a high ticket backend. So they have some kind of, like $3,000 to $7,000 offer that all the people coming into the low ticket can then ascend into and buy. And so when we just break even on their ads, they're super happy because they're like getting free brand awareness, they're promoting their brand, they're getting customers, people are pulling out their credit card and wanting to buy something from them, they're consuming that product, and then they're saying, there's a percentage of them that are saying like, great, how do we keep working with you? And they have other things to sell them. And so that's really like the beauty of digital products and low ticket offers at the front end as like an acquisition offer in order to get people in the door. But you've got to have that high ticket back end or else you end up like the first company who is trying to make all of their money selling low ticket stuff. And that's a really difficult spot to be in. But that's really it. And like, that's what I was telling him is like, once he gets through this launch, if you will just focus on, okay, how do I make really good ads? How do I have some kind of funnel where people can come from the ads and buy my stuff and I'm not losing money when they do that? So if I put $1 in, I get at least $1 out. And then how do I have some kind of ascension so that people who come in and love the first thing can actually spend a couple of $1,000s to work with me at a higher level once they get through the low ticket offer? If you'll just focus on those 3 things for like 6 months, you can grow a business like crazy. And again, once you have this campaign where you're putting $1 in and you're getting more than $1 out every single day, imagine being able to every month go spend $30,000 on ads. And you're not stressed about it because you're making at least $30,000 in sales. So like the credit card is getting paid off every single day when you're doing this. And you're spending 30 or 60 grand a month to go out there, promote your business, get customers, build an audience of people who follow you, know you, like you, trust you, and then you convert a percentage of those people into a high ticket backend. That right there is the formula. And you're never out of pocket for the money that you're spending on ads because the funnel is paying for that right away. And then like the question is like, do you think you could do that and outgrow someone who is just trying to like post on Instagram a couple of times a week and use that to get clients? Like, of course you can. So that's it. Like, figure out how to run ads, figure out how to build a funnel where you're not losing money, and then have some type of high ticket offer on the back end so you can ascend people from low ticket into high ticket. It's really that simple. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. That takes a lot of work and a lot of skill right there, but it can be that simple. Now, if you want to learn how to do this, you either need to have a professional do it for you, or you need to work with a professional in order to get it done. Otherwise, you're just going to waste like a bunch of time and money in order to do all this. So I could talk about this for hours. This is like just scratching the surface on the different strategies that we've used in order to grow these types of businesses. So if you want to learn more about that, just check out the links down in the description below. Otherwise, I've got a ton of other videos on this channel all about this stuff, and I'll link up some that are like specifically about this strategy down below. Actually, some of the ones that are gonna pop up on the screen over here are some of these videos as well, so definitely check those out. Otherwise, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments down below. I hope you have a great one out there, and hope to catch you in another video soon.